I'm going to take a nap in the middle of the day. I just got my lashes done and they're ginormous. Vision, that's not for you. What'd you say? And she was like, I don't even know.
It's game time and I'm up one. Name something I ain't done. Name a body that's my type. Air Jordan, I'll take flight. I'm next level, I'm rich.
To our winner, Julia Rene.
Good morning, buff babes and bros, and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Julia Rene, and I'm an IFBB Wellness Pro, and I want to welcome you to my Road to Olympia series. I just woke up from a baby tiny nap. Julia Rene does not take naps, but when I am on prep and I am this tired, I'm going to take a nap in the middle of the day. But I took a nap because I am getting ready to go and work out with April Lauren. This is an incredible girl, which I met over the internet, and she came here to do a workout and to do a little chat about some important topics today. So I hope you guys enjoy. I haven't ever met her before yet, but our values really align. So I'm getting ready to mix my pre-workout and we're gonna go to the gym. Okay guys, so I have April here. We are going to be training shoulders together. April actually messaged me on Instagram and was like, hey, do you want to do a collab together? And I was like, yes. So she flew all the way over here so that we can do a workout together. So everyone, this is April.
Hi, I'm April. I am on a journey to lose about 200 pounds. I've lost about 90 so far. 110 to go, and I'm getting strong and about to work out a body part I never touch.
You're gonna be
except
sore.
for compound. It's gonna be awful and wonderful.
At the same time.
Just yeah, I'm so excited.
Okay.
So that's me.
I love it. So what we're gonna do first, we're gonna start off with a little bit more of band work just to get some blood flowing in the shoulder, and then a really light dumbbell with kind of some lateral raises, some bent over lateral raises, and some front so that we're hitting all parts of our shoulder to get them warmed up, and then we'll go into a heavier shoulder press. Guys, so we're done with our shoulder workout. It was very, very good. Did you like it?
I loved it. I feel like death.
I feel like death. I'm excited. I love training people that don't train, well, that train differently from me, because if I trained like her, like I'm assuming that I would be dying because I don't train that way. But it's cool to get to work out with different people and their style of training, and you just get to learn new things. So we are going to check back in with you a little bit later. I'll see you at home, and then April and I are actually going to do kind of like a Q&A on a couple of topics that are really important to us, and April will actually have the other half of it on her YouTube channel so that you can go watch it as well. So I'll see you there.
Bye guys, it was so nice to see you.
Okay guys, we are back together. We're going to do kind of like a just open-ended conversation about some topics that are really important to us. If you haven't already, go to April's channel, because that's where we talked about body image, we talked about knowing your power, and we talked about so many other good things, and we wanted to kind of split it up so that we weren't just like talking the entire time. But the one thing that April really wanted to talk about, and I really love because it's something that I stand by, and that's why we get along so well and we can relate to each other, is because we're completely different people. We have completely different fitness journeys, different ages, different jobs, like we live in different places, but we come together and we think very similar. We struggle with the same things. Just because I'm a pro bodybuilder doesn't mean anything.
And I'm who I am.
And I mean, she's on her own incredible journey. And I think what people think is that like one is harder than the other, one is more challenging than the other, and it's really not, because like in the other video with April, we were talking about some challenges that she was going through about a month ago, and look, like we both go through the same things. We both were struggling with, you know, binge eating, body dysmorphia, negative self-talk, all of these things. And that's what I talk to you guys about on this channel, is because these things shouldn't be so taboo and shouldn't be hidden so much, because the thing that we're the most ashamed of or guilty about or want to hide is the thing that connects us to each other.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
I love that. So when I first started my weight loss journey, okay, so I shared when my husband was deployed a couple years ago, like I guess it's more than a couple years ago now, like 2019. I was gonna share my weight loss journey on YouTube. I just played, it was a hobby, so I would like do things in my kitchen, and I was on keto, so I'd be like, I'm gonna make this keto dish. And I would share my weight loss journey, but it was like one video a month, and I never once said how much I weighed. Never. I did not say it out loud. I wouldn't, I was so ashamed, and so I hid, even trying to be open. I was so, and that's when I started saying my weight out loud. That is how my husband found out from my mouth how much I weighed. Wow. I would not say it out loud. That was, I didn't, because I was ashamed, and I was so ashamed. And
that's huge. And it seems like maybe you even got to a point where you were working on yourself so much and you started feeling more power within yourself that it came out. Yeah. And you were okay.
Yeah.
I feel like for me that moment was when I, in 2019 as well, I realized that I had a binge eating problem, a really bad binge eating problem. And I talked to you guys about my story plenty of times on my channel, and once I was able to almost admit and come to terms with what was happening and tell my fiance and open up to all of social media, that's when my healing began. Because I was thinking that I can do this on my own, and I was the only person that struggled with my weight or was shameful about how much I weighed or shameful about binge eating. And when I opened up, it opened up the floodgate for other people to come in and say, you know what, hey, I can't even say my weight out loud. I struggle with binge eating too. And then you feel less alone. And you know, that's the reason why you guys are here too, and why April is here, is that we're here to bring you into the community and let you know that you're not alone through any of these crazy, seemingly crazy things that you're thinking of, or negative thoughts. Just because we're fitness people, we don't have it all figured out. We're figuring it out together, and you guys have seen this on my channel. Like we're just figuring it out together, and once we can just open up and really talk about those hard moments, that's when you can better connect with people.
Well, and I think so. Today I had a little slip up. So for one, I changed outfits.
Not like, slip up. It was a learning experience.
I had a really good learning experience. And the learning experience for me is the power of positive community. That's where I'm going to go with this. But I tried on a bunch of outfits. Part of it I was excited, and so I really wanted to look cute, right?
She
so I
looked
was
cute.
Like, oh, thank you. But then also I kept battling myself on what I was gonna wear, because I'm like, okay, well, I just should wear all black and I should wear a t-shirt. And then I'm like, no, you're not gonna wear a t-shirt. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wear a jacket. And then, so I wore a jacket and I wore a sports bra. And I was like, okay, you're gonna open the jacket. You're gonna take the jacket off at some point, like you're going to. I decided that when I left here. And then I got there and I was like, I'm not gonna do it. And even she at one point, she's like, you should just take the jacket off. And I'm like, absolutely not. And she's like, okay, girl.
And the thing is, for me, is that my learning experience from that is that I was just like, April, just take it off. Cause she's like, I'm hot. And I was like, just take it off. Like, come on. Because I have been in that place where I didn't want to take anything off and I wanted to cover it, and I would have that self-talk, and that bullying, because what she was saying was that she was kind of bullying herself either to take it off or to not take it off. And for me, I didn't realize that that was what was going on until she kind of like opened up about it, and then she like whispered something like under her breath because she was like trying to like get herself to like.
I was being such a bully to myself.
Yeah, she was bullying, and I was like, "What'd you say?" And she was like, "I don't even know." So
I didn't know I was talking out loud, and I really wasn't thinking my thoughts. Does that make sense? Like, it was so like, and I think another lesson from this, and from what you were saying earlier about the power of community and good, uplifting people, whatever that means for you. And I think I'm going to refer to this as the adversary, but it could just be the negative voice in your head. But the adversary, or the negative voice in our head, wants us to feel alone. It wants us to be isolated, because the less alone we are, the more empowered. Like, and by alone, I mean thinking we're the only ones.
It's that thought of, I'm the only one who struggles with this body image. I'm the only one that struggles with stepping on the scale and being upset with myself. I'm the only one. If you're thinking any of those thoughts, it's crazy to think that there's not a single person on the planet that hasn't been there before.
Yeah.
But the thing is in the kind of social media that we live in, everything is just highlight reels.
Yeah.
So you're seeing everyone's curated, perfect little lives, and they're just not. They're not.
No.
And people need to share more of that stuff. And that's why I love your channel, and I think that we connect really well, is because that, like I said, I think really the main like bring and thing that I want you guys to get with from this talk is that the thing that you're most shameful, guilty, uncomfortable is the thing that connects us as humans. Our job on this planet is to connect.
Yeah.
And the things that you start feeling when you are alone and you're like inside yourself, those are some of the lowest frequencies that you can be feeling. It's guilt, it's shame, it's unworthiness on the frequency chart. And then all the way over here on the frequency chart is like happiness, connection, love, joy. It's
progress.
Yeah.
And the other halts your progress, or worse, encourages you to self-sabotage.
Yeah.
And that's where like you get that imposter syndrome, where you don't feel worthy of like the good things in your life.
Ooh, talk about that some more. I really like that.
So I
because I do that a lot.
The less I feel like the meaner I am to myself, the more negative, the more I convince myself that I'm alone, or that like it's so
I deserve this.
Yeah. Yeah. That's powerful.
I deserve to feel this way.
Yeah. The more I just completely lost my train of thought.
The more that you start thinking like that, what do you do? Like, what is like an instance where this has happened to you, where maybe you're starting to self-sabotage, like walk through how that happens to you?
I mean, I think even getting to the gym today, so, because I was a little bit late, and I thought I was gonna be on time, but I sat here in this room putting on clothes, knowing full well what I was gonna wear, but I still was just going through this like emotional mess, and it was like a struggle for me to get out of the door. And I set this like super positive thing up, like Julia inspires me so much, and when I asked if she wanted to get together, I didn't expect her to. She's like yes,
I'm like, let's do it.
And I'm like,
I don't know who you are, but let's do it. We're both strangers, so yeah, it was really cool.
So I just think there's so many instances, and it's harder for me. I think probably the more important for me to share, the more internalized, the more dark it is, and the harder it is for me to get out of my brain, which is probably why I had this super of thought.
Yeah.
I had said something right before that, and you're like, ooh, tell me more about that, and then I just lost those words.
You were saying how we just self-sabotage ourselves almost because we think that that's like what we deserve, almost.
Yeah.
Like this is what should be happening to us. I know for me,
And it halts progress.
That's it. Yes.
So it halts progress and regresses. So I had an instance, it was a few weeks ago. My husband was out of town. He's in the military, but I've been very fortunate to where he's been home a ton. And having his positive influence, he's such a positive person, is really helpful. But he's gone. I've been spending more time alone, and the negative thoughts just got to me. It got to me so hard that I actually binged for the first time in like 2 years almost. Well, over 2 years. And when that happened, I thought, I just kept beating myself up harder and harder until it was hard for me to get like out of the bed. Like, so I have this athletic competition thing that I do, and I do it just to compete with myself. And it was at my local gym, so we travel for this. This one is like just a few miles down the road. I did not want to go. I didn't want to show up. And I finally forced myself. It was like really hard to make myself get there. But the power of like community and pushing yourself past that was progress. But that inner voice, even sitting in the parking lot, I'm like, you're gonna get your worst time ever. Like, you're not prepared for this. You've had a terrible week. Like, you are pathetic. Like, why did you do that? Like, you deserve that. And that's the same self-talk that happens if I am in a binge eating episode. Like, with every bite, it's more negativity, and it makes you feel small, and it makes you withdraw into yourself. And positive people and positive community, it pulls you out. And if you have a good friend, they'll kick you out. They'll just kick you out of that space.
Get your ass out. I love that.
I love with Julia too, like, you do that, I know you have to do that for thousands of people, because sometimes when I'm watching your video, I won't even know that I'm headed that way, like down that negative self-talk or shame. And today in real life, you just kicked me right out of it. You're like, excuse me. What did you say? What did you say?
No, and like for me, I think my little moment was looking at myself in the mirror at the gym. I asked my videographer Ian, I was like, Ian, because I knew that the self-talk was coming, and it's just about, we were talking about this earlier, it's about catching it a little bit sooner. These thoughts are never going to completely disappear. They're just going to diminish, and it's just practice and practice and practice. So maybe one time you have a negative thought every single day and it's debilitating. But with practice and more positive self-talk and more showing up to what you say you're going to do, maybe it's only once every other day. And then eventually it's once a week. And then eventually it's so rare that you're like, oh my God, I used to be so debilitated by this. And now it's just not as frequent. But for me, I looked at myself in the mirror and I felt that coming on. And I'm saying, you're not gonna be ready for the show. You're not gonna look as good as the other pros. You're not gonna blah, blah, blah. All of these things start to happen because I'm human. And all I did was I looked at Ian, I said, Ian, I need you to be honest with me because I'm, a little bit like this. Is my body looking better than when you last saw me? And I said, whatever he says is, what I need right now. Like, I needed that pick me up from like a friend. And he was like, yeah, dude, he's like, your body has changed so much. He's like, it's crazy. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna take that and that's gonna be my new reality. And sometimes you just need that. And I think like I did that for her and was like, this is gonna be, potentially your new reality. Hopefully. Yeah. And sometimes it'll be a little bit challenging to get out of it. It's like one day it'll take you 10 minutes to dig yourself out of the hole. Another day it'll take you 5. But if you keep showing up for yourself in the way that you know that you should, then it'll decrease, it'll decrease, it'll decrease. It only will continue if you stop working on it.
Yeah, well, and I love the more you do it, the more you can do it. And I think,
ooh, I like that.
That's why this binging that happened to me, and not just the binging. I think the binging happened because I got on that negative thought train and I rode it so long. And I was alone, I was isolated, and I was isolating myself more from the community that I have locally around me. And when it happened, because I've gotten so conditioned to working past, like usually I'm just like, I'll have a thought like that and I'm like, whatever, that's not true. Like, whatever. Because I mean, nobody at the gym is looking at you. Like, they're not looking at me. So today when I was having this negative like visualizations and negative self-talk about how I looked, like no one, and if they were, that's their problem, but most likely no one was looking at me to even think about what I was thinking about.
The thing is most of the time, everybody else around you is thinking the same thing about themselves.
Yes.
So there's somebody over there from across the gym who you think is judging you when they're judging themselves 10 times harder.
So like the moments before you asked him that, I was looking at you and I was like, it is amazing. Like, because the muscles, I think we were doing like lateral raises or something, but everything was firing off. And it's like the same size. Like everything is like so proportioned. And I know you worked so hard to get that, like that, what is it called? Where it's
Symmetry?
Symmetry, yeah. But it's like firing off. And I'm like, that's just beautiful. Like it's like I mean, yeah. So I mean, and I can appreciate that. And I'm so far from anything like a bodybuilder. Like my workout style is not anything like that. I love splits, I do, but it's not really what I do. But I just think it's amazing that you were having that moment in your head. It's also amazing that you were able to stop it so quick by reaching out. That's so powerful.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Sometimes you need help. And like we were saying before, is that sometimes you just go within yourself, into yourself, because you think that I can fix it on my own, blah, 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 blah. I'm so self-sufficient. But sometimes you just need someone to reach their hand out and just say, you know what, you can't do this yourself right now, so let me kind of like pull you in. And we all need that, especially me, like 5 weeks out. I went through a time where my fiance was gone last week, and it was a really hard week for me because not only am I hungry and I'm tired and sometimes I'm getting comparisonitis, but I don't have him to be that person where I need something from you. I need a little bit of that support. So I would go into myself, and I do that a lot. And I didn't even share this with you guys on YouTube. That's how far I go in. And when I don't share something on YouTube, that's when I'm really deep in something. So it was a hard week because Zach was gone, and it was just a lot of spiraling thoughts and nowhere to really put them. And the thing is, guys, like I want to kind of end on this, is that our brain's job is to think. Our brain's job is to have millions of thoughts a day. You get to choose which thoughts you attach yourself to. So it can be negative one day, it could be positive another day. But you're the one who ultimately decides how your day is going to go. You know, life is gonna happen, but you decide how you respond to it. So when all of these thoughts are popping up into your head, I'm not worthy, I'm not enough, she looks better than me, I will be happy when, yada, 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 attach yourself to the ones that truly identifies to you. Because you know, none of these thoughts are you. Because if it were you, it would feel good. It would feel good to be you. So we have a million thoughts a day. Attach yourself to the ones that you actually want to embody. And that's gonna be it. That was so good. I really liked that.
Me too.
That was good. So I'm gonna let April say goodbye. She is going to be flying back tomorrow morning, but please go to her channel, follow her journey. If you guys like my channel and you like following a journey, you're going to love hers because she brings you through everything. She's open, she's vulnerable, she talks about these struggles, and have completely different lives, but we can connect on something that's so special. And just give her lots of love. Tell her how much you appreciated her being here, because I did, and I have a new friend now.
Well, and I just want to thank you guys for watching Julia and commenting and building her up and empowering her, because if you didn't, I wouldn't have found her. And
yeah, they're amazing. All of you are amazing.
Yeah, like you've made such a positive impact on me and my self-talk and my life, and I even bought your journal.
Yay! That's awesome.
Yeah. So she has this cute journal, and I love it. Like, it's really, I just bought it maybe like a month ago, but it's been such a helpful. Yep. I'm like, how does she do all of this?
She's talking about the Know Your Power journal. If you haven't got it, it's in the description below.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we will see you guys later. I'll catch up with you guys at home, and then bye.
Bye.
Good morning, guys. It is the next day, and I am so tired today. I'm glad that I don't have to do much training today. It's more so relaxing. And yes, I just got my lashes done and they're ginormous. I just had so much fun yesterday with April and we got to just chat about everything that I love to chat about. So I hope you guys enjoyed. And I wanted to show you before I head off, she knows how much I love presents, because presents and gift giving and like acts of service, it's my love language. So I wanted to show you some of the cool things because I think you guys would like them. So the first thing she got me was this book, and it's so pretty because it's orange and she loves this book. So I'm really excited to get into this because this is a book like I have never read anything about setting boundaries. And then she got me this teal and orange water bottle, which is so freaking cute. And I love when it has the little hanger because you can hang it on a Stairmaster. She also got me 2 of these really, really cute oven mitts. And of course, they're orange, and I really needed these because I literally only have one, and you guys know how much I love cooking in the off season. And then one of my favorite flavors, the Mio orange tangerine. And what else is in here? Oh yeah, and the liquid IV in orange as well, which is the tangerine. You guys know I've been using these lately. She also got me 2 orange energy drinks, and she wrote me a card. Oh my God, I actually haven't read the card yet. I'm gonna read it off camera because it's probably a secret. And she also got me some really pretty flowers. I lost a nail, so don't judge. Vision, that's not for you. So cute, sort of scary. So I hope you guys enjoyed this different kind of video. And as always, I love you all so much, and you are more powerful than you think. Bye.